Hi, I'm John Brewer, and showing you a tutorial of my Screencast-O-Matic, and also going to show you a couple of tools that I use in my classroom along with the rest of the history department here at my high school and in my district. So, moving forward here, if you sign into Kahoot, Kahoot is basically like a fun, updated version of a Jeopardy game. And as you can see, this is my department head here, Jacob Conley. But, for example, if we're doing Unit 5 review, which we typically do at the end of our units, you can see the various questions on the quiz that the kids would have. One of these questions will pop up, and then they pick either A, B, C, or D with the multiple choice answers. And I'll show you an example of that in a second. But this is basically our test. It's a great review for our kids, and it also allows us to pinpoint certain areas where the kids need a little more remediation. And helps us do grouping when we're differentiating leading up to the test. And I'll show you the reports section of Kahoot here momentarily. So if you go to Kahoot, you would sign in obviously as a student. You would play here, and it'll ask my kids, one-to-one devices or shared devices. Sometimes we do teams, sometimes we do, solo, and they compete as an entire class. But it'll create a ready-to-join number. So what I've done here is I've opened up another Kahoot window. You just sign in, enter game pin, so 27301, 27301. So my students are doing this. I give them usually a couple minutes to get their names in, get the code in, and then of course get their nickname in. And of course, I'll make sure we have rules, where it needs to be their first name, nothing offensive. I really don't even allow nicknames because it just sets a precedent for a disaster popping up on the board. So it says you're in. My nickname would be on the screen. So if we go back to the screen, you can see John here. So this list here populates on Kahoot, and I'll give them a couple minutes and ask them if they're ready. I see all the kids that's in my class are signed in. For this example, just John will be signed in. And then I hit start, and we're ready to rock and roll. So I'm managing it. So we go back to the screen. It says get ready. I'm a student now. And I'm ready to answer the first question. It'll ask me the question, and then I will click and the answer here on multiple choice, and of course it goes by shapes, colors, all that good stuff. So this is just a sample of one. It would normally have a question up here at the top, and then it has the answers down at the bottom. So Xing out of that. So my students, we've recently done this Kahoot actually. So I'm going to show you reports on my kids, just give you a brief overview. After we do it, I'll go back and I'll look in. We just finished our Unit 6 review here. As you can see, January 28th, we finished it. And I'll have it run me reports. Now it's running my reports, and sorry, our internet's slow today, so it's taking it a second. And now, as you can see, Caleb in my class scored the highest at 77%. This is just one of my smaller classes that I teach, a resource class, but you can kind of see, how they did in these areas. And of course, you can go into reports and you can break it down more. You can find out what questions they missed, all of that, and get detailed reports here at the bottom. So it really helps you out. So for example, the first question, what was the name given of the time period in which Europeans began to explore the world by sea? Well, it has here that the answer was A, which would be the green, and all three of them got it correct. Two of them got it wrong. I click here and find out who got it wrong. So you can really find out a lot about how the students are doing leading up to the test. And it's just such a great formative assessment for our kids. And of course, they like anything technology on the big board. They like competition. They love to compete. So moving out of Kahoot, Socrative is another one that we use. I'm going to log in here briefly and show you this. And I'm going to show you some similarities and differences with this. So we would go to teacher login here, just so I can kind of show you what the interface looks like. So again, just like Kahoot, the kids can take a quiz. They can do exit tickets, which is a huge difference between Kahoot and Socrative. I love the space race. It's just a competition where if they are answering questions correctly, they're racing in space. So it's a lot more interactive than Kahoot. You can set up the questions just like Kahoot, multiple choice, true, false, short answer. So basically this is just another assessment tool that allows me to gauge, where my kids are in my class and how I need to differentiate and who needs to be in what group and what not for the rest of the week. You can go here, same as Kahoot. You can hit reports and it'll give you detailed reports of your students and how they fared, where they are, and all of that good stuff. So you can see some similarities and some differences between Kahoot and Socrative. Again, I highly recommend these two programs. It's what we use here in my district. We have the license for both of these things, and it's just really helped my kids past couple years, nail down the material that we're discussing. Thank you for your time.